As I start to load everything, I got to remember all the little details, like my little hatchet right here. I just refinished. Little things like this are important. It'll operate as a hammer and a hatchet. What I like to do before I take a trip, and that is lay everything out and make sure that when I get out on the river, I've got everything I need. Just some of your basic essentials. I'm also taking a little bit of warm clothes. It's still dropping down into the upper 40s, lower 50s at night. So if something happened, I did have to stay out there at night. I want to make sure I've got enough warm clothes. And when you take these river trips, this is a vital piece of equipment that you want on board, a dry bag like this. So what you do is you put everything in it that you need, that you want to have, that you want to keep dry, just in case something happens. You get out of the water, you dry off, and you got all your gear in here to dress and to keep warm again. Survival blankets, extra shoes, things like that. How you do a dry bag, put everything in it, and it's important that you do the fold just right to keep it waterproof. So what you want to do is you want to burp it. So press all the air out of it. And then you just start wrapping it over, as many times as you can. Bring the two sides over, click them, ready to go. So this right here will now keep everything inside here dry. Now remember, this will float. Put it in your canoe or your kayak. Be sure and tie it down, because if you flip over in some rapids and it goes on down the river a few miles, it's not going to do you any good. So make sure you have some kind of a tether on it. And that way it stays with your boat. If you can get a hold of your boat and pull your boat to shore, you'll have your dry things with you too. Don't forget your sun hat, very, very important. If you're like me and you do these solo trips, be sure and have your main paddle that you take, but always carry a second paddle. Just in case something happens and this one flips out of the boat, goes washing down the shore, you're not left downriver without a paddle. Here's something else I find real important on a canoe trip, to have an anchor. A canoe has got so much drag, so much area in the water, that if there's any kind of a current and you want to stop and fish, as soon as you stop that boat, it starts floating on downriver. I find that sweet fishing spot. I can always stop, throw a few lines in, catch a few fish. On down the river I go. Here's one of the best river shoes I've ever owned. These are literally going on at least 15 years old or more, and they have held up. Tread's wearing off just a little bit on the bottom. These are Chacos. These are so nice. These have been down so many rivers. What's nice about them, if you decide to get a pair of Chacos, get them with the toe strap up front. That way when you get in the water and you're walking through rushing water, they're not going to slip off on you. They're going to stay on your feet. And they're also wide enough that they'll protect your toes from hitting rocks underneath the water. A pair of Chacos is a very good investment. Best camping pad that you can get. Now this is for car camping. If you're going to backpack, you need to get a smaller version, obviously, to try to save weight. Best car camping pad that I've ever found is a Therm-a-Rest. This right here is a ThermaRest Luxurious Series. These are nice. Unfold them. You basically just release this knob right here, and air will start to fill it up. Once it's filled up on itself, I usually blow in it, maybe a dozen or so times, turn it off, shut the air off. It'll hold air all night long and be very comfortable. How do you put this away when you're done with it? You release the knob, and that starts releasing the air. Take it like this right here. and you start to roll it, and just go slow. Don't be in any hurry, but you keep on rolling it up, and you might be able to hear the air coming out the other side there. Once again, I've had these pads since 2000. Bought them around 2000, 2001. They've held up well. You take care of things, things will hold up if you buy good equipment. Okay, so now here's the secret on a Therm-a-Rest. Once I get it to the very end, I shut the air back off. So no air can come in and out. Now, take it, roll it out, do it one more time, but keep the air shut. If you don't keep the air shut, as soon as I roll it out, it'll start to self-inflate again. So keep the valve shut off. You'll get it a lot smaller, and all the air is being forced to this end. Okay, to about that point there, now I'm going to release the valve and push the remaining air out. And be sure and shut the valve back off. And there you go. That's a 2 foot wide, 6.5 foot long Therm-a-Rest Luxurious Series. I actually have one that's a double that's stitched together, so if you have 2 people going with you, you can lay it out. Very comfortable. Highly recommend Therm-a-Rest Luxurious Series. If you're a beginner and you start to buy your outdoor equipment, it's always good to go to some place like REI, Quest Outdoors in Louisville, Kentucky, someplace that really understands outdoor gear, because they can explain things like this. If you go to your local discount store and you buy this, there's going to be no salesperson in there, probably no salesperson in there, that's going to be able to show you not only how to roll it up the first time, but then to shut the air off, take it back, do it again, and make it even smaller. It's always nice to have professional people talking to you, teaching you things. Same with the boots. Shortly I'm going to release a video on boot fitting. That's something I've done for a long, long time. Considered a professional boot fitter, but it's important. If you're buying that first pair of boots and you want to do it right, or even if you're an experienced hiker and you want to do it right, go to a professional boot fitter and they'll make sure that you will get set up perfect and that you'll be able to put all those miles on that trail without your feet hurting at the end of the day. That's LAF Space Film Fest. That's capital LAF Space Film Fest. And I appreciate you coming by. You